guys, Mary from SVG Cuts here with another fun bunch of paper projects. And this week I have some really cool camping, outdoors themed projects for you to work on. And I think the coolest part obviously has to be this really cute little camping lantern. And the cool thing is you can make this on any size mat, even as small as a 12x6 mat. And it's cool because you can put a little electronic LED tea light in here, which I got at Michael's, and I've seen them at most craft stores and some regular stores too. So just throw that in there and it lights up, and it is super cute. And it's a super cute decoration to have around for summer because it's just so adorable. So also we have our cute little Smores box, and it perfectly fits enough ingredients for making 4 s'mores. So you can either, take it to someone's house for fun or have it in your backyard, have a little s'more party. So sometimes it's like the simple things that are the most fun, especially if they're seasonal, like if it's summer or fall and you want to make some s'mores. It's actually more fun than you think it's going to be, so super tasty too, obviously. And we also have our cute little thermos container, which pops off and just like a regular thermos. So that is also adorable. I want to make a cute gift container for like a guy or someone who's into outdoorsy stuff. So super cute. And we've also got our little teepee here, which is super fun. And it pops off. Yours will be a little bit different actually. I redesigned this to be more open on the top. So just ignore that if you're wondering why it looks different. But you can put some fun goodies in there. Or I was thinking you could also just use the top by itself for kids to play with, because I know if I was a kid I would have fun playing with this. So super cute. And finally we have our cool scrapbook page. And like I've been saying, if you're keeping up with all the scrapbook pages we've been making lately, this one will add to your cool collection. And it's really nice because you let your machine do all the work. You don't really have to design a lot of it unless you want to. Then you can get creative and change it up. But if you just want to pick out your paper and cut it out and have fun embellishing it and whatnot, then you can go for it and keep it simple. So the cool thing about that and about all of our scrapbook page layout designs is that your machine cuts out your pictures for you exactly where you want them and exactly in the shape that you want them. So I have a separate video just explaining step by step how to do that, so click over here to see that. But the cool thing is you take your little template and you lay it on your picture exactly where you want it. You lay it on your mat, cuts out perfectly. So gotta love it, pretty fun. And finally we have the paper that I used here, which is The Great Outdoors by GCD Studios, which I had never heard of until I bought this paper at Michael's. So if you're looking for some fun camping or some outdoorsy guy paper, it's really, really cute. And you get a lot of paper in the pack, so that's nice. And I also was online and I saw some camping paper by Bo Bunny too. So if you see that, that would also work. Or really anything that's kind of just, plaid, summery looking is going to be really cute and fun. So have fun making these projects, and let's sit down and I'll show you how each of them goes together. Alright, so let's start simple with our simple little s'more box here. And I took out the chocolate because it's so hot here in the Midwest, it was starting to melt. So all you're going to do is, we've got our 2 pieces of the box here, and I'm not going to put all these panels on or the embellishments on because that's easy and you can figure that out. So all we're going to do is join these 2 pieces together. And I think brown is the perfect color for this because it looks chocolatey and delicious. So I'm doing it again in brown. And it's really fun to pick out the little panels of paper that go on the sides. So before we close up our box, the next thing we want to do is put our plastic piece on it. And if you are working with plastic for your crafts that you can cut with your machine, then go for it. But this paper, this plastic that I use, I cannot cut on my machine, and it's pretty much what I use for all my plastic needs. It's just some sheet protectors from the office supply store. So all I'm going to do is put this on here, get out my scissors, and I'm just going to manually use this to cut this out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be about that shape so that you can flip your box over and glue that on the inside. So then next, all you're going to do is put some glue on this tab, close it up, and then close up the bottom by putting glue on all 3 of these tabs and closing up the bottom. Then you don't need any more glue on the box because you will just close it up like this. So then you can go ahead and add your embellishments and then stick your goodies inside. Okay, next we have our simple little teepee, and all you want to do first is take your little sticks and glue them on the inside like this. They each have a fold right here, and the fold lines up with the edge. And then you can go ahead and close it up by putting glue just on this tab and holding it in place while it dries. Then you can go ahead and put your cute little chevron stripes around the edge and this guy here. So to make the bottom, we've got 2 pieces, and it looks kind of funny because this part is popping up here, but that's because we want the door to be closed, but we don't want this hole to be too tiny, so that's why that's there. So all we're going to do is put glue on this tab and close it up. And then, as you guessed it, you're just going to put glue on all of these tabs all at once and just put your bottom in place. And that's it. So next we have our cute little thermos container, and it's pretty simple. The lid is just this long piece, 2 circles and some little parts for the handle. Then on the bottom we've got the main piece and 2 circles. So first let's do the lid. And what we're going to do is put glue all on this tab here, and we kind of eyeball where the edge of it is, because there's no fold line. We're not going to fold it. We just want to bend the handle out and then close it up, and just give it some time to dry while you hold it. And I got a little messy here with my glue, but that's okay. Okay, so you can be a little neater with yours. And then we're going to just fold it over, fold all these tabs over, and we're going to put a thin line of glue all the way around, maybe a second one on the inside. And then you're going to take the larger of the 2 circles and put that in place, and just as it's drying, just kind of move it around until it's perfectly on top. Then you can go ahead, flip it over, and glue this guy inside to hide all those tabs and finish it off. So then all you're going to do finally is take your these little pieces, and you're just going to glue them on top of each other on whatever side they go on, just over and over, and that just strengthens up the little handle and makes it a little sturdier and cuter. Then for the bottom, it's pretty much the same thing, and this paper is adorable. All you're going to do is just put glue on this large tab here. Don't fold it, just curve it around and bend it and hold it while it dries. Then just flip it over, bend all these tabs over, and glue your larger circle to the bottom, and then glue your smaller circle inside to hide all those tabs. Okay, so finally for our super cool lantern, we've got our pieces here. There's 2 of these pieces, one of which I have already started to glue. Then this piece goes inside for the candle to sit on. This piece is the bottom, and these guys get curved and they go around the bottom of the lantern to add like a nice curve so it's not so boxy. We've got 2 of these pieces which I've already glued together, and I only put glue on this horseshoe part of it, and then we're going to bend this out like that. Then here is the top, and we've got our handles. We've got 4 pieces like this, and I've already glued 2 of them together and bent out the sides like that, which we'll go ahead and do with the remaining 2. And then finally we've got our vellum here, which I've gone ahead and folded up. So first I'm just going to go ahead and get this handle ready to go. And I'm just putting glue on the inside of it, and then I'll put its little friend here on top and glue it down. But I did not put glue on this curved rectangle with the 2 holes in it on each one, because that gets bent out on both sides. So our 2 handles are ready to go. Now let's take this big piece. There's 2 of these, and these all get folded away from you except for these 2 get folded in like this. So go ahead and fold all your scored parts so that it looks like mine. And then all we're going to do is put some glue on these tabs inside here. And we're just going to repeat this same thing all the way down the whole piece. So I'm just lining up the edge with the fold and holding it while it dries, getting rid of my extra glue, and then just repeat all the way down the rest of the piece. And I've already done that to my other shape, so you can go ahead and do this to both of yours too. Okay, so I'm closing up my final piece here. And then, as you probably guessed, what I'm going to do is just glue these 2 closed and together by putting glue on this tab, this tab, this tab, and that little one, and holding that while it dries, like lining them up one at a time, then holding it, and then flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. So here is the bottom part, and this bottom part goes on the bottom, but not yet. We're going to save that until the very end, actually, because we need access to these little holes to put the brads in later. So next, take this piece here and fold up all these sides, and then go ahead and put glue on all of these tabs. And like I was saying before, this is going to be on the inside, and your little electronic candle is going to sit right on this guy here. So I went a little crazy with my glue, but you get the idea. So that's easy to just stick in there. Okay, so next we want to grab our vellum, and on the end of it there's 1 little tab. So put a really thin line of glue, because you don't want it to be sticking out too much or coming out the sides too much. Actually, I have maybe a little too much on mine, because this is not going to be hidden. This part will be visible in the back of your lantern. So just try to make it look as nice as possible. And then here is the back. Obviously this is the top because it's curved. So on the bottom, let's put a thin little line of glue on all of these tabs on the bottom of your vellum. And then we are just going to set it in place on the base of our lantern. And now here is my lantern. I've got holes here and holes here. So the back is going to be here. Here's this hole, which is the back. So I want to be sure that that piece is in the back, because we wouldn't want that to be on the side, because that would kind of mess us up. We wouldn't be able to stick our candle in there properly. So just line it up as best you can, and then go around a second time and press it down real nice until it starts to take hold. You can be a little more careful and take your time with yours. Mine is a little less than perfect, but you get the idea. So next, let's set this guy aside for now, and let's take our top And all we're going to do is go all the way around, putting glue on this tab here and this tab here, and then put it like this, and then put it like this. So you want to make sure that the first fold here is actually going towards you, and then the rest of them are just regular going away from you. So fold them up like that, and then go ahead and go all the way around, gluing your tabs in place. So I'm just putting some glue in place, and I am holding it while it dries. And I'm just lining up the edge of the paper with the fold of the other side. And then I'm moving on to the other one, just a nice little thin layer of glue. And I'm just going to work my way all the way around the whole shape. So go ahead and do that. So here's my finished little lid, and I'm going to do the same thing I did on the bottom, and I'm just going to put a thin little line of glue on all of these tabs, and then I'm going to set my lid on the top here in place. But I'm going to be sure that there's 4 holes here and there's 4 holes here. I want to be sure that it's lined up with the 4 holes on the bottom as well. So just place that on and use this hole to get up in there and make sure that the vellum is really touching the paper and everything is working together nicely. So at this point, if you want to put your cute little decorative panels on, like I have here, this plaid and the stripes here, and also on the bottom, you can do these pieces now too. There are 6 of these, and you can emboss them first if you want, and then you want to bend them so they have a nice curve, and then we're just going to flip it over and put some glue on the bottom and on the top, and then just glue it in place and hold that for a while it dries. So once your decorative patterned paper panels are on yours, I'm not putting them on mine, you can go ahead and use your little handle here and take 4 of your little brads. You're going to need 20 brads total, and I think it looks nice to pick brads that kind of almost disappear. Like I would use green on green. So go ahead and put those in there, and it's a tiny bit tricky to get your finger up there to spread the brads apart, but it can be done. It's not too bad. And then all you're going to do is the same thing with your handles on each side. So just take your time and do 1 brad at a time. There's 4 up here and there are 4 on the bottom. And then when you're all done with that, you can go ahead and put glue on all these bottom tabs and then put your bottom in place. Then you're all done. You just need to add some cute little ribbons. You can add your moths. I cut them out twice, once in vellum, once with regular cardstock. And I added some epoxy shapes from Epiphany Crafts and my cute little button here, which looks like the little dial. So there you go. So there you have it, super fun projects for camping and outdoorsy stuff. I had a lot of fun making them. I hope you do too. So be sure and share your pictures on our Facebook wall or in our forum. I always love seeing them. So I'll catch you next time. Happy crafting.
Create some of the hottest new paper projects with digital die cuts from svgcuts.com. SVG Cuts is daffodils, pumpkin pie, advent calendars, paper luminaries, holiday place cards, Thanksgiving decor, pre-designed cards, and scrapbook pages. SVG Cuts is 3-dimensional, handmade, functional, inspiring, professional, adorable, whimsical, spooky, classy, and impressive. Browse hundreds of free designs and download new free designs every week. Get inspired in our step-by-step idea gallery and let us walk you through assembling your favorite 3D project. If you love our design, you'll love our customer service. We've got the testimonials and fans to prove it. Get the latest papercraft news from our videos and podcasts, and use our weekly promotions to save on your favorite designs. Load your paper and cut, or get creative with unique combinations all your own. Here's what you'll need to get started: a copy of Sure Cuts A Lot software for your PC or Mac, and one of many compatible cutting machines, such as the Black Cat Lynx, the Pazzles Inspiration, or the Sizzix Eclipse. Learn more by visiting www.svgcuts.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and watch all of our crafty videos on YouTube. It's a world of crafty content, with you in the middle. SVGcuts.com, inspiring you to live creatively and beautifully.